job. Well done, guys. I'd like to do a little conducting with it. The first thing I want to say is that last piece is really cool. I really liked it a lot. It was really a creative piece of music, and it has a lot of intensity. And, you know, I think people think of strings at first being this sweet, beautiful instrument, but sometimes strings got to be real intense too. And you guys really captured that. I was sitting back there writing when you started, and then the basses and cellos came in, wah, wah. She kind of jumped up, like, wow. And then, but what's significant here is that a few bars later, you needed to play something similar, but play it lightly, and you did. And so, you know, heavy music is good and all, but it stops being heavy if it's the only way you play it. So it was really nice to hear that contrast, and it sets up the next thing, and then the sliding effects and all this. It was a really cool piece. That was fun to listen to. You guys did a great job. It takes a lot of preparation to learn a piece like that. And I bet one of the hardest parts was when you guys were doing and this other melody came in. That's called counterpoint, when you have multiple melodies playing on top of each other. It's some of the hardest music reading that you can do as an instrumentalist, because you can't get distracted by the other parts. But at the same time, you've got to work with them, right? And I thought you guys did a nice job of that. What I would like to look at and do a little playing is Danny Boy. Let's go back to that. And this is the beautiful, sweet sound of strings that we're going to take a look at. The concept here, which I thought you guys generally did a good job of, was when you have the melody, you must play assertively, and when you don't, you need to react appropriately to the melody. And with playing assertively on the melody, a piece like this, when you think of this melody, do we think of it as a vertical melody, or do we think of it as a horizontal melody? We want to think really horizontally. And I think when we think vertically versus horizontally, vertically is more of thinking one note at a time, whereas horizontally is thinking through the whole line. And every time you play a note, you're arriving at a note, but you're also setting up another note. And you arrive at that next note, and you also have to think about, okay, I'm arriving at this note, but how am I setting up the next one? And that's what I mean by horizontal playing. Let's go to the beginning. Liked it, when you get to that refrain, you play a little bigger, a little more assertively. And then it really happens twice. And a couple bars later, it does the same thing again. I would like to hear us fade even more in measure 12. And it just sounds like the music is going away, and then boom, right back. Down and up. When we do that, it's so fun to listen to. Let's go right on the downbeat of measure 2. Okay? just like this, I'm always thinking about keeping that air pressing forward and constantly in motion. Well, you're dealing with not so much air, but a bow. And that bow, just like my air, or if I'm singing it, my air's got to be in motion. Your bow has got to be moving quite a bit. And sometimes when there's not a lot of notes, I think the tendency as string players is to just relax a bit and not use as much motion. I think the concertmaster here is a great example of using good bow motion. And as string players, we need to defer to the concertmaster and listen and watch as well as listen to help us stay together. So feed off of her energy. Let's do it one more time. Measure 10 downbeat. Well, I hope you guys have a great time out there. I really like the sound of your orchestra. You're doing well. I love seeing the big string bass section back there. Keep working together on getting those pitches. It's hard to get those instruments in tune. They're so big. But I love that low-end sound that we're getting from you guys. I liked in the first piece how you a lot of times had the melody, and you worked together so well on that and had a good sense of that. And hear the different sections coming out when they should. You seem to have some good knowledge of understanding texture and when your sound should come forward in the texture and when it needs to get out the way so someone else has space to do things really musically. So thank you for being here. Thank your teacher for working so hard with you and doing great work. And keep practicing. Thanks so much. It was my pleasure. Good job.